back to Rot Rust Garage. Very short episode this weekend because it's 4th of July and I want to take the moment to wish you all a very, very happy 4th of July. Happy Independence Day, 250 years. That is cool. I actually remember 1976. Yes, I'm older than that. That was pretty cool, the 200th. Oh, spirit of 76. Now we got the spirit of 26. So pretty cool. Pretty excited about 4th of July this year, Independence Day. So I figure I would just tell everybody happy 4th of July, happy Independence Day, and then give you a couple of quick updates and keep it short this weekend. So let's start right here behind me. Got some things going on in here, like the hood back on, maybe some header action going on. Yep, the shorties came in, and I jammed them in there the other day. Fit beautifully. Just amazing, no problems with the dipstick back there. Spark plugs are good to go. You know, just the downpipe, everything. These things are super cool. I love them. And yeah, I did the distributor on there. Started getting my bracketry back together. Need to get an alternator. Working on the power steering pump. That's over on the bench. I can show you that here in a second. But yeah, just little tiny, like I said, laundry list of things to do on this car. Making some good progress though. Here's the bits for the power steering pump. This is the one that was in the Charger, set up for a small block. These brackets will not work. And this is the one that came on the 440. I can't use this one because it has somewhere, oh, there we go, has a giant hole punctured in it. Probably from its time in the, where the RV that it came out of was scrapped in a junkyard. So I tried pulling this pulley off. They're slightly different. I think what this is 6 1/4 and this is 6 3/4. Slightly different, so it'll be slightly underdriven, maybe go a little faster than what this one would do, but not a big deal. I definitely want to use that old school 69 pump versus the newer 70s, 80s, later 70s and 80s. So that's where I'm at with the Charger, and you can see I've still got my giant mess here of parts everywhere. Let me start with this. This is an Edelbrock that I have stashed up in the attic. Many years. I think it came off of a 318. I'm pretty sure it did. That was junk. The engine was no good. Took a bunch of parts out of that. I will talk to you a little bit more about some of those parts here in a minute. But the reason I'm going to go with this instead of the steel manifold, the cast iron original one, is when I flipped the original one over. It's upstairs right now. But when I flipped it over, these things have 2 like rivets and a plate across the bottom for this heat crossover. Well, that plate is mangled, and so all of the oil that gets up in there and chars is just going to fall right back out into the cam valley there, the lifter galley. So just going to use this thing. Pretty simple. I don't know if it's really much of an upgrade. Now, I told you last week that these heads, these are aftermarket. I'm positive. It's got a weird symbol on it here, weird part numbers, and it doesn't have any of the standard stuff you would expect on a Mopar head. So these are definitely replacement aftermarket. Not that they're better, they're probably just the lowest cost they could get. I don't know what that emblem is, but it's definitely not a Chrysler emblem anywhere on here. Both of these heads, this is passenger, this is driver. Driver has a, I showed you how I gacked up trying to get that broken stud off, and then I come over to the passenger side and I started looking a little closer, and sure enough, got another broken stud right there. So I'm not even going to mess with these heads, and I told you that I was going to go get some other ones. The only thing really good here is going to be the valves and the valve springs, keepers, etc. So I did go out last weekend and met a feller about an hour away. He had some engine parts and an engine, and so I picked that up from him. So this is a 360, all right, just a block, very little ring ridge. That's not rust, that's Cosmoline all over it. You know, that's not milkshake, that's Cosmoline. So it's in really good shape. This is a 1978 360 block, great core for like if you want to do a stroker, or you could just build it back, you know, and really take it up a notch. cam bearings in it look okay-ish. But I want to point a couple of things out. The reason I'm showing you this block, obviously I'm not going to be using it anytime soon, but I want to point out the hole right here in the what I call the oil galley, lifter galley. It's where oil can drain back out. And same thing over here. Okay, so this would be the driver's side. Got a hole right there because otherwise this oil, this is the tube that sends oil into the head that gets the rocker, the top half of the engine. Same thing right here. There's the hole it comes out of. Up through the head, oils everything up there, right? Well, this is there because this would block any of the oil from going back that way. So it needs a place to escape. Same thing with this. Oil can escape all the way back through here, back by the distributor drive, but it can't get past this wall. So instead of having a big puddle there, got a little hole there. And then also at the front of all these engines, there's a hole right there that goes through, and there's sometimes a cam bolt or cam retainer bolt that'll have a hole drilled in it, and that would be where that bolt would go. Yeah, that bearing's not good. The other ones look fine, but they'd all get replaced anyway. I just was editing a little bit for this short video, and I realized I kind of skipped something important. I was showing you the oil galley or the lifter galley on the 360 I just bought, the 78. So let's get back over here to the 91. That is not necessarily like a hole punched in. I think that was probably cast that way for oil to drain out, because obviously this is where your oil would pump up into the head, and that would block off oil, right? Oil would just fill up in here. So that allows that oil to escape there. On this side though, what's weird for this 91 is there is no other hole anywhere on this side for oil to drain back. Now from behind here, it could all drain back towards the distributor drive, like I mentioned, but it doesn't have a hole there. And it's got the hole drilled and threaded hole drilled for that bolt would go behind the cam, but this one does not have a hole in it. And I know there's a lot of debate about that, but sometimes I have seen them with holes, and that's where that one would go, and it would allow oil to drain out and drip onto the slinger here. And that slinger is gacked because, well, chain and slinger should not really meet. Now, real quickly, I'm going to show you the 340 to show you the evolution of these holes that I'm kind of discovering. So let me show you that real quick. Okay, a little dark over here, but this is the 1973 340. You can see it's got different pistons, right? They're not dished or anything, but I just want to show you. So hole, hole, hole. This one drains back that way, but hole, hole, and no hole, but it's still got the hole right here in the front where the I can't remember if the bolt that held the cam retainer in had a hole in it or not. But this engine this is what came out of the 69 Charger, and these, I wish I should have brought a flashlight over here to show you these cam bearings. They are terrible. I pulled this engine out of the Charger years ago, did some disassembly investigation, and realized, wow, this thing needs the full Monty. It needs it all, man. It needs a complete and total rebuild. So if we're gonna go that route someday, it's gonna get upgraded. Anyway, just wanted to show you that stuff. Now let me jump back over to the 78 360, that block that I just bought. So again, 250 bucks for a set of 360 heads, this block, the crank, which is back over there in the corner, bagged up and cosmolined, and a bucket full of pieces, parts, and valve covers, dipstick, you know, distributor drive. Had a timing cover with it. The only thing it didn't have basically was the pistons and rods, which I don't care. I've got a set of pistons and rods upstairs for 360. And if you board that thing out, you need to get new pistons anyway. The rods would be the expensive thing, and I think I got a set upstairs. No big deal. So that brings me to the next part of this. So I drove an hour to get all this stuff. Great price, 250 bucks. But as soon as I got there, looked at this as the passenger side head, broken off exhaust manifold stud. So this one I'm not going to drill. I'm going to run up to Lowe's Depot and get a bunch of throwaway nuts and try and get this one. I'm going to get a welder on there and try and get that out of there. This was really pretty grimy, and then it was Cosmolined over top of that. So I've just been carb cleaning it and everything, but whatever this like dark Ford blue paint is on it, kind of hard to see in this light, but it just melts right off of there. It's pretty nasty. It's got my whole pan blue. So if I can't get that out of there, I mentioned in the last video that I do have a secret weapon, and I don't want anybody to freak out, but this is my secret weapon. These are good heads. This is off of a 1973 340, which is back over in the corner. In 1972, they detuned the 340, okay? They took the compression down and they went to a cast crank on those in 72. This is a 1973 340, the last year of the 340. It was replaced by the 360. In 72 and 73, the 340s came with 360 heads. Now, I don't know if these heads are original to that engine, but I will show you if you look. Where's she at? Right there. Let me get a better angle. Show you right here. The head says 360 stamped right on it. It'd be easier to see if I took the rocker shaft off. Just like this one does. This is the 78 360 heads. These heads are identical. The difference for the 340 though, 340 came with a little bit, even in 73, had a little bit more factory cam. So I don't know if you can tell, but these valve springs are a little bit wider than these. These came out of a truck because I got the pan that came with it, so I know it's a truck. These are not only thicker springs and a little bit wider in diameter, but they also have the, what do you call it, the secondary spring in there. What people call that the, I don't know, I can't remember, there's a name for it. Like kind of like a beehive. So that would be the thing because it had a little bit more of a cam, so you got better valve springs with this. If I use these heads, again, it's no big loss, but I would not use these springs. I would take these off and put these on because that's got a truck cam and it's matched to these, the spring rate of these springs, not these. This would be for a little bit heavier duty cam. Or a little spicier cam, let's say. So not a big deal, but these heads otherwise are identical. These are not special. They're not J heads or anything, or X heads. These are the J heads. This is a 1971 340 that goes into a certain car. And these are actually J heads. So this would be the 2.02 intakes, the big intake valves. So these are very good heads, very desirable. And I happen to know where another set of J heads are, which would be even better than these 360 heads for that 73 340 if I build it in the future. I really need to find a car that it would be happy in, some little A body or something. But they're just pricey now, or junk. Sometimes both, pricey and junk. So anyway, that's kind of the updates. I think I covered most of what I wanted to cover. Again, no big freak out about using these quote-unquote heads off the 340. It's probably original, came with them. And that's only if I can't get that stud out of this head. But here's the other one. Here's the driver's side one. I was already working on it, cleaning on it. Again, 1978. Good to go. These things are going to be no problem at all. Hopefully I can use them. No broken off studs. There's that Ford blue that somebody put on there. Don't know why. But yeah, I hope I can use these 78 heads. That way I don't have to break down all these springs. But either way, I'm going to take all these valves off, clean the valves, just polish the valve seats, lap the valve seats, and put new valve seals in. That just makes sense while it's all apart if I'm going this far. So that's a little bit extra time. But again, a lot of stuff I want to do over here. A lot of little odds and ends. I do, you know, one of the little triple gauges. Got a fuel tank to throw in it. Rebuild the fuel system. Lots and lots and lots to do. So, you know, probably 4th of July. Not going to get a whole lot of that done, but maybe on the 5th of July. With any luck, I'll be off on the 3rd of July. We'll see. Anyhow, just giving you the updates here. And, oh, you know what? Before I go, I did mention the 318 that was seized that aluminum in Edelbrock came off of. Well, these are the rocker shafts. Yeah, this was kind of something I definitely wanted to talk about. These are the rocker shafts that were on it, and they were pretty rough. When we got the engine, it was like moisture had gotten in it. You can see like rust build up on them. I've been cleaning on these and trying to work on them. Don't know if they're going to be salvageable. This one is the passenger side. It's actually in better shape than the driver's side, which is currently over in the parts cleaner. And I am working on these, hoping to try and save them, but they're pretty rough. Would it matter? I don't know. But I will say, notice if you can see with this camera that there is a hole in that socket right there where the push rod goes. Okay? And that's interesting because on this 360, the push rods that came out of it, as I mentioned, had holes in them. So I guess when the lifter pumps up, it can shoot oil up through that push rod. But the problem is the rockers and the tube on this engine did not have those holes like I just showed you off of this 318. So a guy wonders, if I put like rockers like this on there that has the provision for the hole, would it be better oiling to the actual rocker? Because the oil would fill up in this tube and come out of these slots right here, and you can see a rib right there that would ride right over that. Okay, and right there's another one, you know, it would ride just like that, and that's where it's going to get its oiling from. And then the oil comes up through the stands, right? As I mentioned before, the oiling comes up through the galley and it up through one of the, maybe this one, not sure which of these stands the oiling, oh, this one right here, I can see the hole right there. So oil will come up, gets around that stem of that bolt and gets right up into this tube and fills this whole tube up, and then it'll come out of these holes and oil these. So I don't know if there's any advantage of the hole on the top dripping oil onto this from that side. I don't know, but I might try it. So again, I have never actually seen the hollow push rod tubes, and my only concern would be if I use them that it takes away oil pressure overall. I don't know, maybe not, might not be enough to make a difference, but it should certainly send a lot of oil up to the valve train. So all right, well, I'll be back with you in a few weeks, and we'll have more updates and get into some more stuff, and hopefully I'll be a little further along with these heads, and maybe that stud will be out. So again, have a great Independence Day, and we'll talk to you real soon here on Rotten Rust Garage. Take care.